Hi, welcome to Rarely Said, the podcast where we talk about what everyone feels, but not everyone says. I'm your host, Harper, and I'm so excited you're here. Let's get into it. Okay, today I have a special guest. This is my very great guy friend, Colt.
What's up, guys?
So, we're going to start this off by doing a very quick rapid fire. This is about my guy best friend exposing boys, because obviously you guys want, like, the guy to tell us, because obviously it's the best insight is, you know, the real thing right here, a male. Anyways, okay, we're going to do a rapid fire game real fast, and I have some questions, and the rules are you have to answer instantly with a yes or no, and you can't over-explain. Okay. Do guys reread texts?
Yes.
Do guys talk about girls with their friends?
Yes.
What's the biggest ick a girl does?
When she's overly cocky or has like a high ego.
Yeah. Do guys notice outfits?
To an extent.
Okay. Do you guys like being chased?
In a way, but it needs to like have like a middle ground. Not like too much, but not like too little.
Okay. Are mixed signals intentional?
Somewhat, but I think if in like a real relationship, I don't think there should be like a whole bunch of like chasing and like a whole bunch of games. I just think it needs to be kind of straightforward as like just a one thing. There doesn't need to be like a 3-month rule or like a start and stop of like texting and ghosting them for a couple hours. I just think it kind of needs to be like one fluent action. Okay,
now we're going to talk about things girls overthink and like what you think about them.
All right.
Because obviously us girls, we don't like dry texting, and like when guys randomly like to, you know, pop back in and say hello and try and come back, or like the difference between dry texting versus being busy. Like, what do you think about dry texting? And like, what do you think a guy is like trying to imply when they're texting me dry?
I think to start off, if a guy's sending you dry texts and it's been like that way for a couple of days, there's a reason why, and it's probably all like negatives. Dry texting just does to like, he would do it in order just to show you that it's not his biggest priority. If a guy truly likes you, he will put in the effort and he'll show that you genuinely care. And if you are shortening up every question, making it really dry, really, really basic, then it's just implying that he wants the conversation to end way more quickly than it should, pretty much.
Yeah. What do you think, or have you done this? Have you like left a girl kind of and then wanted to like, you know, add her back on Snap again and try and talk to her again? Do you do that?
I did that one time. One singular time.
So then what was your take on it? How'd you feel about doing that? And why'd you do it?
I felt a little iffy if it would work, but it later, like, in a way it did. It put us back on, like, a friend level.
Okay. And what do you think a guy, I mean, you know, typically with me, I think that guys like to leave a lot, and then they usually will come back. What do you think that means?
It really means that his priorities really aren't that set forward, that straight. A real mature guy, really, if you're really truly like wanting to commit yourself to something long term, the guy should be able to position his life around that one focus. He shouldn't be getting distracted and chasing multiple girls, going to parties, doing all this. If he really wants to focus on having one true relationship, he'll move his life around in order to prioritize that relationship.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Do guys know when they're being like a red flag? Like purposely like love bombing or leading a girl on? And, you know.
To be honest, it kind of, how it all starts is your first like 1 or 2 relationships. That's how, or talking stages. That kind of sets the tone for how you like start pursuing like your love life. And how you start at the beginning is kind of how you'll kind of finish. If you are like a very affectionate person and you like love to blow up their phone all the time, you're not going to just like start and stop with like different people. You're going to continue to text a lot because that's all you know. And you don't know how to be a dry person. See, in my case, I never leave girls unopened. I never leave anybody unopened ever. If anyone texts me, I always respond to them just because it's not who I am as a person. And I feel like I always have something to talk to, and that's been like a personality trait that I really like emphasize, that I am super, super easy to talk to, and I can always carry on a conversation no matter the circumstances. So you'll never see me do any dry texts. If you guys ever text me, I'll always answer with something good.
So do you think, like, I mean, specifically with me, you know that guys will, like, lead me on, and then we'll kind of be like, well, at the end, they're like, I don't want a relationship. Do you think that's because the girl's scaring them away, or because they, like, intentionally led the person on to then be like, oh, well, just kidding, like, just using you and stuff like that?
To be honest, if he really, really likes you and he's really trying to spend time with you, and then you really get the vibe that he, like, truly likes you for you, and then one day he just decides to ghost you, most likely he's probably talking to someone else. And he really just doesn't want to commit to a relationship with one person. He'd rather, like, explore, like, multiple options instead of just one. But if he truly does want to connect with you and just you, then he'll tell you, and he'll have that long conversation with you late at night, during the day, whenever, and it will be like an hour and a half conversation of him telling you, like, Harper, like, I truly want to be with you. And that's the type of conversation that mature people have. And a lot of people, like, aren't ready to have that conversation, especially in high school. And that's something I think that's pretty valuable, is communication, because that's where it all starts. That's how you build trust. That's how you build boundaries. That's how all good things start. And I feel like that's what a lot of teenagers in today's society, like, lack a lot of, is communication. And they're too afraid to communicate how they feel, because they're afraid of being judged and how others believe.
That's very true. I actually have a very specific question.
Yeah.
When do you think that guys know, like, that they're gonna date the girl, or that, like, she's the one? Like, in high school specifically. So, like, meeting a girl and being like, you know, she's gonna be my girlfriend. And have you, like, had an experience with that? You
kind of get a feeling. So when you start texting them, you can tell pretty quickly based on the girl's responses. And if the girl is really trying to end the conversation quickly, then you know, yeah, it's not good. If you actually truly like someone, they truly like you, the conversation should be going on and on and on. And you guys should be blowing up each other's phones all day and talking. It shouldn't just be like every, like, couple of hours, just check in or Snapchat them.
Yeah, I agree. And now we're going to talk about girl code versus guy code.
Okay.
I'm actually in a situation right now that I haven't told you, so this is also blind reaction story time with Colt.
Breaking news, guys.
Yeah, I always tell Colt all my, like, guy drama, and he doesn't really know this one yet, but I think, I was actually just telling my mom that this is, like, I'm totally in this situation. So, basically, you know how I was hanging out with the couple, you know them.
Yeah.
And I was hanging out and going fishing with their one friend. But I think you maybe texted me and said new hus, but he's my friend. Like, I did not have a crush on him, did not kiss him, nothing, but I did hang out with him a couple of times.
Yeah.
And he did pay for my ice cream one time. So basically,
that's a positive.
A couple of days ago, it was the day before my birthday, so the 25th, I was with the couple and then said guy, who was my friend. We got ice cream, and then he wanted to go see his best friend, and he was at church. So we, like, went to the church, and his best friend came out, and I was, like, in the front seat with the guy, and he, like, came to the window, and we were, like, talking to him, and I realized, and I was like, oh my gosh, his best friend is so cute. And the first thing he said at the window was, is this a two-man? And then I looked at him and, like, froze up, and I got all red because I was like, oh my God, I think he's cute. What do I do? Didn't say anything. Then I get home and I'm talking to my friend, you know who. Said friend. And I was like, okay, he is really cute. So I did a little bit of stalking. And we followed each other on Instagram. And I was like, that's weird. So then I looked him up on Snap, and he had added me, like, probably a month ago. Like, it wasn't, like, a new ad, but it was an old ad. Like,
you didn't know who he was?
No, I didn't know who he was. And we only had a couple of mutuals. So I added him back, and then I snapped him, like, a picture of me, like, laughing. Yeah. Because I thought it was funny. And then he sent one back. And then we just, like, snapped for a little bit. And then he said, happy early birthday at, like, 11:30 because I was staying up. So obviously he was stalking my birthday, right? Yeah. And so I was like, hey, you're stalking me or something. And he was like, chill, I was just looking at your profile. And then we started, like, texting, and we didn't really talk about the fact that I was literally with his friend like a couple of hours ago.
Oh gosh.
But we were kind of talking, and then obviously, like, now that I'm thinking about it, said guy that I was with couldn't have told his best friend, oh, I was like getting with her and stuff. Like, he literally could have said I was hanging out with her. There wasn't much to say because nothing happened. So I guess in a way it's like fine. But said guy was texting my friend saying like, oh, well, what's Harper think about me and all this stuff. So he clearly did maybe have a feeling.
That's what guys do.
Yeah. So anyways, we were texting, and then he stayed up like to tell me happy birthday, and my bestie Ava was the first one to tell me happy birthday. He was the second one. But he told me happy birthday, and then he was like, I thought he was really cute. Some may say this was cringe, but he said, good night, sweet girl. And I think he was just trying to be nice because, like, it was my birthday.
Yeah, that's like a nice thing.
I know. I thought that was really nice.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'll text you in the morning and stuff. So I was like, okay, I'll be counting on it. And then he texted me the next morning at literally 5 a.m. and was like, good morning, birthday girl. So clearly he's into me. So then we were texting when I was at school, literally just like on my birthday on Thursday. And I like asked him to hang out because I knew he would ask me to hang out because like it was my birthday. And he drove, and he lives like 30 minutes away. He drove here.
Where's he live?
I can't expose that. And he drove 30 minutes and picked me up. And then we drove all the way to Newport to get dirty sodas. And he doesn't even like dirty soda, but he got one. Then we like just talked in the car, and we really hit it off. And then we finally talked about said friend. And he was like, I mean, he said that he doesn't really care. But then he didn't know that we hung out, and we all went to a party yesterday. So
How was that? I never even asked you.
It was boring. There was no one, so just wait.
How many people?
It's better. Like 15, 20, maybe by the end, like 40.
That's a kickback.
Yeah, with a ton of people I didn't know besides. And then...
Wow. Niche pull.
Basically, what happened was we were all in the car together driving there, and a comment was made kind of implying that we were together last night, and then was like, you guys were together last night? And then we both looked at each other and we were like, yeah. And then at the party we didn't talk because it was just like really awkward at that point.
Yeah.
And then finally me and boy sat next to each other and we were talking. Then said guy got up and was like, I'm gonna go home, and just left. And then me... Out
of nowhere.
Yes. And then we were like, what the heck? But we weren't like touchy or weird. Like we were literally just having a conversation. And there's this foreign exchange student. We love him. And he was like also talking, and he's literally so funny. Anyways, he was also a part of this.
I gotta hang out with them.
I know. They're very fun people, Colt. And then, so I was obviously with the guy that I was hanging out with on my birthday. And we were kind of talking, and my brother like made plans with his friends and didn't want to pick me up. So then I ended up asking him for a ride home because he was like our ride there and whatever. So he took all of us home. Anyways, we kissed last night, and
heck yeah,
his friend I think is mad. So moral of the story is, what do you think
some beef
about guy code? Because they are best friends. They are best friends. And do you think that's bad? And but also I didn't kiss the other guy, I only kiss this guy.
This is like a prime example of guy code, because especially if the guy before texted you and really told the other guy, yeah, I really like this girl Harper, like she's really pretty, all that, and then the other guy goes and starts talking to you and gets with you, that's gonna cause a lot of tension between the both of them, because that as like a boy, if here's an example, my best friend Tristan, if that ever happened, there would be a huge argument, because it's just like a respect thing. You don't have respect for your best friend, and you really would go behind his back to do something that you know would make him upset just for your own desires.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little immature, but I can like see how it would happen, especially with teenagers nowadays. They really don't think about it. They just think about what's best in the situation. They don't really think about the longevity of it.
Clearly I'm the best in the situation, so just wanted to let everyone know.
High ego Harper.
Oops, sorry, was that an ick?
Ick.
Well, I was actually thinking about that. I was like, damn, is he a messed up friend? But also, like, said friend texted him and was like, she's all yours. And like
then
they
it's
were making
okay.
jokes. So I'm like, technically it wouldn't be his fault, but then he's gonna like be all dramatic and leave and stuff, which was a little immature. But I also think that his friend needs to like text him and be like, by the way, like I have a really fat crush on Harper and we will be hanging out, because I hope so. But like, don't you think?
I think it's an interesting situation, but if he texted the other guy and said it's all good, then I think it'll be all good. They'll probably just have like a man-to-man conversation that night about it. But other than that, I think it's one of those like, hey, bring it in, brother, and they're good the next day.
Yeah. And I'm not getting involved in that, obviously. So
see, because it's not on
not
you.
my fault.
It's on them.
Yeah.
You're the middle person.
Yeah. So that was a really good story time about that. So we obviously did a little Instagram post about questions that girls specifically want to ask.
Yes.
Okay, one of our Instagram questions was, why don't guys want to treat girls right? That's probably, I don't know. I mean, we know me and my little ex-boyfriend situation. That was just a really bad situation. I don't really know what I ever did, because I thought I was a really good girlfriend. Do you think I was?
Yeah.
And then I just got shitted on. So what's your take on this, and why do you think that guys don't want to treat girls good?
Me personally, I can't be like a jerk or anything like that. It's just like, I can't do it. I'm too nice of a person to treat like people like disrespecting, because I was raised better than that. I don't have like disrespect. I have respect for woman, man, whatever. And to be honest, if the guy really like does not like the girl, he will show her like clear and obvious signs. They'll schedule a hangout and he'll cancel last minute, or he'll just ignore her, see her in the hallways, just put his head down. There'll be clear and obvious signs, but also coming from like a general standpoint, it would be past trauma with other situations that you think could also think that you would be set up for failure. Because I know people get their heart broken by one girl and they think another girl's actions towards them is setting them up for the exact same failure that they already endured in the past. So it's kind of like from a safety standpoint, they feel comfortable, and they don't want to cross a road they've already know has hurt them. So that would be a reason why. And the other one is just they really just don't want to prioritize that, and they just want to be dry. But
yeah. Maybe he just doesn't have a crush on you.
Exactly.
Because if he does, he would say, "Good night, sweet girl."
Guys, that's the quote of the day.
Good night, sweet girl. Anyways, okay, I think our next thing that we're going to do, I have another game.
Yeah.
Because these are, like, really fun. This agree or disagree game, I think we should actually talk about some of them, because I think they're actually kind of good. But you can just add on to if he agrees or disagrees. If he wanted to, he would.
If he wanted to, he would put in the effort and put you as his number one priority, unless he specified that his sports or job or goals are ahead of the relationship, in which girls also need to respect that. Because I feel like a lot of girls say, you need to prioritize me and only me, but also there's more to life than just a relationship. Getting a job, getting money, having success down the road. Not all these relationships are going to be some super long-term thing. And at the end of the day, your career is always going to be there for you, and the girls or the guys might not always be there for you.
Guys fall in love faster than girls.
That is very true.
Really?
That is very true, I feel like. Some guys like really seek attention, and when they get that attention and they like what they see and it's wholesome. Wholesome twin.
Oh my God, I just stuttered. Wholesome twin.
Wholesome twin, take 5.
Ooh. Pretty privilege is real.
I really do not understand what this means.
Yes, you do. I feel like we talk about
What does this mean?
You literally have said that you think I get what I want because I'm pretty. That's what it means. Like a girl.
Those exact lines have never come out of my mouth, but I think from a girl's standpoint, girls can get like whatever they want, just because I feel like guys are like easier to get with than girls are. That's true. Like, I feel like if a girl at a party went up to a guy and is like, kiss me, they're like, yeah. But if a guy came up to me and was like, kiss me, I'd say, yeah, exactly.
no. girls and guys can't just be friends. We are a clear example that girls and guys can be just friends. I promise you.
I think a lot of the times when you get like so close to someone, really getting into a relationship with them can really damage a true friendship. And really, if you break up, I know people say, yeah, we fixed it and we're all good now, but there's always like a piece of that friendship relationship that's missing. And that's one of the key things. And you need to know what you want to prioritize in a relationship and a friendship. And hey, best friend.
Double texting is embarrassing.
What's an example of this?
Like if I were to text a guy and he didn't respond and so I double texted him. So I was like, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, hey.
See, guys like when girls put in the effort. See, I can speak with truth on this subject because this has happened to me. I feel like I put in a lot of effort into this relationship that I really prioritized. But for some crazy reason, for the first time ever, the girl actually put in way more effort than me. And I thought I was like doing like above and beyond. I was texting her all the time. I would call her. I'd hang out with her all the time. But it seemed like she was doing more, which was crazy to me because I've never felt that way, that like a girl's like really like prioritized more than I prioritize her. And the thing, it's not like I like her less or like she likes me more. Like I really, really liked her. It was just a mental thing of I felt very safe. And at night I could like sleep knowing that, hey, I know I felt loved. And that was, It was a great feeling.
Wow, that's amazing. Since me and Colt always talk about this, I feel like everyone should know this. What are your takes on pressing the hangout button too much?
She is the prime example of this. She does this way too much. She will literally start talking to a guy, and I kid you not, she sends me, in 5 days in a row, she sends me a snap with the guy in each day in a new location. And I'm telling her, I'm like, Harper, like, how much time do you have on your hands? Like, where's your life? Like, it's just every single night she's like, oh, I'm hanging out with so-and-so again. I'm like, Harper, you've done that for the past 3 days. Like, hang out with your friends or go get food or like,
so
I think it hurts a relationship more than it helps it.
I know, yeah. Me and Colt
to an
have
extent.
Big talks about this. I know.
I think there should be like some spacing involved. Like, yes, if you want to hang out with them like 2 or 3 days in a row, yeah, but don't hang out with them for like the big 7 days a week warrior Harper Stevens. She's the prime example of this.
Actually, don't do that because the guy gets sick of you, I've noticed. I think they get really bored.
This is my exact reason why I tell her this all the time.
This is why Harper's talking stages don't work, is because I just like take out too much. And also I don't do a sport and I have like nothing better to do. You know, that's really sad.
Hey guys, she tans though. That's her sport. She's a professional tanner.
I actually said that in my first thing. I really love to tan. I actually wish I was doing
Olympic
that right
tanning.
Is that a thing? I think I would win.
Olympics, if you're watching this, put tanning in the sport and put Harper on it.
Yeah. I'll represent USA. But no, actually, I think I'm going to take your advice, and this time I'm not going to press the hangout button. I also think he doesn't have that much, like, he's a football player, and I think he does a lot of stuff.
I also think if a guy can hang out for like 5-6 days in a row, then that shows like really what's going on in his life, which means like it's nothing.
Facts.
I think there should be a balance. I think
me and Colt don't even hang out that much, and that says a lot.
I say at most 2 or 3 days in a row. More than that, you're really, really pushing. Unless it's like a vacation. You take him on a vacation, then like that's another conversation.
Whoa.
But if you guys are just hanging around like around town, I don't think more than like 2 or 3 days in a row. More than that, you're really, really pushing it.
Yeah. If a girl really likes a guy and they're hoping
Get the hair off.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And they're hoping to pursue them for a long time, what should the girl know about the guy? Or not about the guy, but what should the girl know to keep the guy for a long time? So
to be honest,
get bored of her.
Number one thing is no games. Because that's what people like talk about all the time. That, oh, you should snap them, then ghost them, snap them, ghost them, keep them chasing you, leave them on delivered for 3 hours, have them like double text you. No. I'm going to be honest, that is not a good... If a girl did that to me, I would just get so annoyed and I would just not talk to her.
That's straight rage bait.
it's rage bait. It doesn't set you up for success. If you actually truly like someone, there shouldn't be some push pull, or it should just be like you two like both like each other and you just really just want to pursue that.
Yeah. You know what I think is also hard is like having a conversation about that. I feel like I would get scared like to be like, hey, like seriously, what is this? Because I feel like I always get confused in like what I'm in. But I think sometimes I feel like guys are too immature for me to like say something.
A lot of guys are immature, but the thing is, it's also who they hang out with. A lot of times, if the friends around them are pretty childish or like they joke around a lot, then it's probably not going to work the best that you want it to, unless there's a guy who has a lot of wisdom or a guy who really like knows what he wants. Then I feel like then you're in a better place for success. But I really feel like the girl just really don't be dry. That's the key the takeaway from this. Just don't be dry, and if you like the guy, learn how to keep a conversation going and don't have him be the only one who starts the conversation, because I feel like a lot of times the guy's the one keeping it and maintaining it and creating new talking points, and the girl's just the one answering it. So I feel like the girl really needs to check up on the guy and be the one who's also starting, so it's not just like a one-way street, because I feel like that was back to the situation of the girl putting in more effort than me.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one, like, after basketball practice, I didn't even have to look at my phone. Like 20 minutes before my practice ended, she literally texted me, "I hope practice is going well. Tell me about it once you're over. I miss you."
Oh,
like
that's
all
so
that.
cute.
And it's like that's the type of effort that guys want, but a lot of them don't get it. It's just like they open their phone and it's the girl just going like the key Harper snap. What's the Harper
judging
snap?
my snaps. I don't know. I snap a lot of different ways. I have different ways.
Different methods, guys.
Yeah, you have to get your methods. Also, my biggest hack is to send them funny stickers.
Of what?
Have I not sent you my funny stickers? Dude, that's number one riz. They have to think you're funny. Do you like a funny girl, Colt?
Yeah, someone you could joke around with, but also like have serious talks with, because I feel like a lot of them are just like really, really, really like straightforward and like they don't like joke around that much, and I feel like it's the guy just making a lot of jokes. So I feel like it's good to have a girl that can like actually take a joke and like you and like laugh with.
Yeah, I agree. So I think Colt has definitely exposed the boys today. Do you think you've exposed us? Or
I feel like to an extent, to a safe extent.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to specifically tell the girls that you think they should know?
Girls, put in the effort and don't expect it to always come from the guy. Also contribute to this conversation and the relationship if you want to pursue it. And also, if you're dating a guy, don't go to like a random Snapchat house parties all the time, because that is just, it's not a great way for success. And the guy's going to get mad. And if something does happen where you end up getting with another guy because of certain substances you used or you weren't thinking clearly, it's just going to cause issues, and I really don't think it's not healthy for the long run. In high school and college, I think it's pretty common just because that's like the times we live in, but if you really want to pursue something like genuine and wholesome twin, then you really need to prioritize that and not prioritize
party
other lustful like desires of the world, pretty much.
Yeah.
And you know how crazy the world gets with parties, alcohol, drugs, all that. It's very, very common and very publicized. And I feel like if you can step away from that and go into your own like peaceful world, then you're going to have a lot of success.
Yeah. Anyways, if you're listening and you already feel seen, then this podcast is doing its job. You don't need to have your life figured out to be here. Sometimes just noticing what you're feeling is enough. Thank you for spending this time with me and Colt.
What's up, guys?
I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.